Some of you may be thinking that I'm crazy for removing this beautiful wrap off my Jeep, but in this video I'm going to explain why I'm doing it. I'm going to show you how well the wrap is held up, and well, we're going to pull this off and see how it goes. I've never done this before. Hopefully it's not too difficult. Stay tuned. Welcome to Trail Recon. I'm Brad, and that's right, I am removing this beautiful vinyl wrap after 10 months. And I've got my reasons, which we'll get to here in a minute. But in this video, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how well the vinyl wrap is held up because it's been abused pretty good. Then I'm gonna actually pull this off and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully with a little elbow grease and heat, it'll come off okay. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to let you know if I would actually vinyl wrap my Jeep again. I think you'll be very interested in my answer. Now, why, Brad, are you taking off this vinyl wrap? Well, 10 months ago, I was in Phoenix, Arizona, and I worked with the guys at Elevate Design Group to design this beautiful graphic and to install the vinyl because I knew the Jeep was going to be at a lot of shows. We were at Overland Expo, Jeep Bash, some local car shows and Jeep shows. It was featured on a couple of YouTube channels. And so I really wanted to do it for branding, to allow the Jeep to stand out in some of those environments. And mission success, people loved it. I love it. I think it turned out really well. But why now am I pulling this off after 10 months? Well, I'm making some big changes with the Wrangler as a whole in 2020. And starting with the logo, the Trail Recon logo. We're actually going to make some changes to the logo, not dramatically, but we're going to flatten the colors and pull out some of the details. And so the new logo isn't going to look exactly like this anymore, so it's not really going to match. Another reason that I want to pull the wrap off is because, well, when you take the top off and the doors off, it looks a little funky because you've got some letters in some of the pillars and the tire tread going through some of the sections, and it just doesn't flow well. And so with the vinyl wrap off, when I pull the roof off and the doors off, it'll look much nicer. And speaking of the roof, I'm going to be making some big changes to the roof rack and the roof itself. And so the vinyl wrap is just not going to flow with what I'm going to be doing here in the future, which I will explain down the road. That's not a conversation we're going to have today, but there are some big changes coming for the Wrangler. And another reason, well, I just don't want it to be in your face quite so much. Bam, there's Trail Recon showing up at the grocery store. It's just a little too much for me personally. I mean, I drive this Jeep all the time, going to the store, going down to the gas station, wherever. I don't always need to be like, hey, here's Trail Recon flashing at you. It would be nice to be a little more subtle. It's a little more my style. So it'll be nice to be a little more discreet when I'm out and about. And another reason, well, there is some weight to all this vinyl. I mean, a roll of vinyl weighs about 5 to 7 pounds, and we're going to be talking a lot about the weight of this Jeep and how we can reduce that weight here in the coming year. And this is not a big deal, but that's a little bit of weight that we're going to save in addition to a whole lot more things. Okay, so now you know why I'm taking this vinyl wrap off. Let's walk around and let me show you how well it's been holding up. So when I first got the Jeep wrapped, I was a little concerned on just how well this vinyl was going to hold up when I was out on the trail. I mean, look, we've been in a lot of cool places, and there's been plenty of bushes and branches that have rubbed up against this, and you know what? It's held up really well. You have to look really close to be able to see them. I don't even know if I can capture it on camera, but it has not ripped at all. It's very, very durable stuff. And all the seams have held up really well. In fact, right here along the fender, they actually terminated the vinyl wrap right there, and this is actually the powder coating of the fender, and I thought, oh man, that's going to peel up. It hasn't. You can't even tell. It looks perfect. It's held up really, really well. Now, there are only two areas of concern. One is right on the door sill, and basically I think what's happening is when I get out or my son gets out, is scraping their heel right there on the top of the vinyl, and it's kind of pulling it up a little bit. Not a big deal, just something we have to be aware of when we get in and out of the Jeep. The other area is on the rear fenders on the front part. My tires stick out a little bit, and I think they've been throwing some rocks up there, and there's just a few little nicks in there. I think maybe a clear coat over the top would have been kind of nice just to give it a little bit more strength, but there are a couple little pinholes there from when rocks have hit it. But otherwise, the vinyl wrap has held up really well. I mean, look, sits out in the sun most of the time here in Southern California because usually when I have the rooftop tent on, can't come in the garage, so it's out there baking in the sun. It's been in the rain, we've been in the cold. This vinyl has held up really, really well. It's almost a shame that I'm pulling it off today. Now, there's no special tech manual on how to remove vinyl from a Jeep. I'm just going to be doing this with my bare hands and picking at it, and hopefully it works. Now, I've warmed up the garage a little bit with a garage heater just to make this come off a little bit better, hopefully. I do have a heat gun, and I'm just going to pick away at some of the edges and take my time and go slow. The last thing I want to do is try to rip it off too fast and have it pull any paint off. We definitely don't want that. I want it to look nice and pretty underneath, fingers crossed. There might be some adhesive under there. We'll have to figure out if that has to come off. I guess this is the point of no return. Here we go, guys. I don't know how long this is going to take, but we will see. And I should mention that it will be nice to have this window back. I mean, when you're backing out of a parking lot and you can't see, get that blind spot, it'll be nice to be able to see that again. Oh boy, I can't believe I'm doing this, but that's coming off nice and smooth. Look at that. Look at that, look at that. Okay, maybe a little more heat will make it easier. Boy, I can't believe I'm doing this. That right there is what we don't want to have happen, especially when it's on the paint. We don't want to do that. We want it nice and smooth. All right, there it is. Point of no return now. I can't believe I just removed this beautiful vinyl wrap, but at least there's my window back. All right, let's do the rest of this. It's really nice to see my silver Jeep back again. This is going to be really cool. The paint underneath here looks really good, and there's no adhesive sticking to it, which is going to be nice. But this stuff is coming off pretty easy. All you need to use is that heat gun, and it makes it nice and smooth. Don't jerk it, just pull it nice and easy. Again, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just figuring this out as I go. One thing I will have to do is I'm going to have to remove the door handles and a bunch of the trim because they did do that and wrap underneath it just to give it that nice clean look. And you can definitely see the vinyl's not pulling out from underneath there. So I'm going to have to pull all these guys off. But this is coming off much better than I expected. Should have this done. I'm going to spend a little bit of time tonight, maybe come back in the morning. I can't believe I thought I would have this finished by tomorrow. Boy, was I wrong. The thin strips of vinyl were fairly easy, you just give them a good tug, but the large sections on the door and the hood, boy, those were a workout. Either that or I just need to get back into the gym. Having to remove each of the fenders isn't difficult, but it is time consuming. I'm thankful for the extra work Elevate Design Group did in making this look good, but I definitely didn't set enough time aside to remove all the necessary trim for this project. The hood is my favorite design of the whole wrap. It's a map of the Mojave Preserve, and it's been a great conversation piece, especially for folks that have actually been there. Removing the vinyl from the hood was work. These big sections of vinyl take some serious elbow grease to peel off, and anytime the sections split or ripped, finding another area to grab a hold of was sometimes a challenge. But after plenty of persistence, the hood was back to its plain, old, ordinary silver self again. I'll miss that map. Well, it's now day 3 of ripping the vinyl off the Wrangler, and I honestly didn't expect it to take quite so long. But the guys did such a good job wrapping this that you have to remove all the trim, the door handles, the fenders, everything to get all the vinyl off from behind there. So it's making it a little bit of extra work to rip this all off. I will say, make sure you don't trim your nails before you do a project like this because you need to pick at that vinyl a lot. And the other thing is the hood. Wow, that was a lot of work. I mean, I was really getting an arm workout pulling that vinyl off there. Now today, hopefully I can get this done today, but we've got to pull off the light bar, the fenders, and I still got to do the door handles and then the rear. Almost done, but it's nice to see that the paint underneath here looks really good. But of course, no project in the Trail Recon garage would be complete without at least one hiccup. So the doors are all done. I pulled the rear fender off, pulled all the vinyl off, put the fender back on. I was moving up here to do the front fender, and started pulling all the bolts off except one started to spin on me, and it actually has a riv nut behind it and the whole thing is spinning. So now I've got to remove the grill, got to get some vice grips back there to grab a hold of the riv nut, pull that bolt out, then I'll have to put a new riv nut in to reinstall this. All this just to get some vinyl off. It's always the little things that are the most time consuming sometimes. Aha! Success. That worked. Oh hey look! Got a ton of dirt from Moab up under here. Some good memories right there. Well, that is a lot of vinyl. A little over 5 pounds to be exact. And I am gonna miss the nice graphics of the wrap, but to be honest, I like the just plain silver look. It looks much cleaner and much more sleek. Now, I did tell you at the beginning of the video, I would answer the question, would I vinyl wrap my Wrangler again? The answer is yes, but maybe in a solid color or something very, very subtle, because it is nice to have that protection on there. And you know, it's fun just to kind of decorate your Jeep if you want to. Definitely gonna stay silver for a while though. All right, look, there are a lot of things coming with the Wrangler here soon. Most importantly, my radiator's leaking, so I gotta do a little maintenance, but there are some cool projects, a big facelift that's coming with the Wrangler, and you're gonna see this in a lot more videos here in the garage and out on the trail. I'm super excited about what's coming, and I think you're gonna really enjoy it. If you are visiting Trail Recon for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a member of the Trail Recon team. Please remember to travel the trails responsibly. Thanks for watching.